legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Well, that was such a great speech and a great plan, but too often, like a bad horror movie, what's dead comes back to life to terrorize us. And just last week, a federal judge overruled DeSantis' anti-woke education law, and immediately it's having drastic ramifications beyond just the indoctrination of students. A report from the group Do No Harm, released after this ruling, shows that the Florida University College of Medicine uses CRT training as a part of its curriculum, endorsing equity and anti-racism as a part of its official academic practices. The medical school can now keep this plan in effect to push inclusivity and diversity over traditional medical education. Joining me now is Florida Congresswoman-elect Anna Paulina Luna. Congresswoman-elect, great to have you with us tonight, and congratulations again to you. What do you make of this? How does CRT training in medical school help save lives?
The fact is that it doesn't, and I would be very interested to see if they're requiring their applicants to declare the race, obviously, of the applicant. You know, I actually did apply to medical school. I fully understand the process, and one of the things that's always been alarming to me is that these same universities that like to push CRT actually a lot of times do discriminate against Asian Americans that are applying to actually gain access into the medical school. So obviously, I think these people need to be focusing on educating people to be great physicians. And unfortunately, when you have this type of ideology being pushed within the education system, it does nothing but divide people.
And, you know, the federal judge in this ruling called teachers priests of democracy, likening the law to an Orwellian dictate from 1984. I mean, the ruling is likely to be appealed, but for the meantime, schools get to keep on pushing their radical agenda, which seems to be, I think, the real Orwellian threat, don't you think?
I mean, I agree. You know, what's really alarming is when you're applying to be a physician, obviously the first thing that you should be focusing on is not race, but obviously treating patients. And if you have the general ability to be able to connect with another individual. And unfortunately, this screening process, what they choose to try to do as activists, instead of teaching people, you know, how to be good physicians, as a country right now, we're facing a deficit of doctors because of some of these crazy application processes and what they do to try to keep people from actually getting into medical school. And so unfortunately, I think that it's going to take a grassroots momentum to actually cause this to change. We see that DeSantis is doing a lot for the state of Florida, but as you're continuously seeing, they're doing everything they can to try to undercut that legislation that he's trying to pass.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't have a lot of time left, but the Florida University College of Medicine, they spent more than $2 million pushing diversity training. The report indicates that faculty hires should be race-based and administrators have to have their pay tied to how well they adhere to the diversity and inclusivity agenda. Why is this being pushed in a medical school? I've got 30 seconds.
I think that we have people that are too focused on being activists instead of basically ensuring that they are hiring qualified individuals. And I would argue that if they really want to have a diverse, qualified group of people to teach their students, that they need to do blind applications and remove race and gender from that so that they hire people based on merit.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, Congresswoman-elect Anna Paulina Luna, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We hope to have you back here a lot more often, especially once you make your way to Washington, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. It's great to see you.
Thank you. God bless.